Hey guys, King of Charmander here. Today I am your judge, jury, and analyst, and, well, yeah, your judge, your jury, and analyst, and give me one sec. I bring to you the most thickest, destructive, long-tongued Pokemon. Okay, that really sucked. I'm so sorry. Anyways, we are here to analyze the Eater of Worlds, or the Eater of your Elo, which happens to be Lickitung Extra Large. XL Lickitung is an absolute destroyer in the Retro Cup, and overall it is the most powerful Pokemon for the Cup. It's just really freaking good. With the ability to have, basically, Lick makes it really freaking good. That's pretty much the subsequent reason, because Lick is super effective against Psychic types. When you ban Steel, Dark, and Fairy types, you basically, Psychic types are really good, and guess what? His Psychic types are weak against Ghost. But as you see here, the reason why Lickitung is so freaking good is because it's obscenely thick. You thought Chansey, it's basically a Chansey with a giant tongue. And it's obscenely destructive and really good in Pokemon Go PvP, especially for the Retro Cup. The thing is, the reason why I wanted to update this video is because a lot more people definitely have a Lickitung XL. I've seen it a lot in battles. Not just my friends using it, but definitely it's running some sims and just seeing it absolutely outthink the crap out of your opponent. Like, I've seen this thing survive hell and high water to basically just annihilate your opponent by throwing every single body slam in existence. It goes to the top rope. It moonsaults, or doesn't really moonsault. It frog splashes. If you are a fan of wrestling, yes, I'm a fan of wrestling as well. And yes, I just made about 2 pro wrestling move references. You're welcome. Anyways, as you see here, as one of the coolest analysts in the land, well, I'm pretty cold-hearted, but I'm not that cold. Anyways, as you see here, Lickitung, the reason why Lickitung is so good is only weak to fighting. The thing about fighting types in this cup is that they're still good. However, with Psychic types being so dominant, you don't usually have fighters in a Psychic heavy meta. Like, this is in, like, take Kanto Cup for an example. You saw Machamps, right? Well, guess what deletes Machamps? Hypno and Mew, and you saw a lot of them out there, so Machamp wasn't exactly the most effective thing in the world. And the other thing is, Lickitung actually resists Ghosts. It double resists Ghosts. So, not only is Lickitung able to cover Psychic types because it has Lig, but it also ironically covers Psychic types as well because it resists Ghost types. So, it's it beats Psychic types and it covers 4 Ghost types. It's it beats Psychic types and it covers 4 Psychic types, because without Dark types being out there, basically Ghost is your worst nightmare. But as you see here, it is very powerful because of Lick. It also has Body Slam and Power Whip. Power Whip gives you great coverage. ES Grasp doesn't really take out a lot of things. It takes out Rock, it takes out Water. But the thing is, Power Up is so powerful as a move, just an obscene amount of damage. Combine that with Body Slam, which is one of the cheapest and most powerful low energy cost charge moves in the game. Actually, it's only second to Leaf Blade, and its base stats are literally the same as Weather Ball, and it's an absolute destroyer. As you see here, it also has Hyper Beam and Stomp. Stomp is horrible. Do not use it. You might be able... So there is there's not really justification for Hyper Beam. Just use Body Slam. The only issue with Body Slam is that Body Slam's... from what I remember, it's actually Legacy, from what I remember. In order to get Body Slam, you have to Elite TM it, which really sucks. So, unless you have an Elite TM, unfortunately, you cannot get a Lickitung with Body Slam. But Body Slam is totally worth it, and Body Slam makes Lickitung the most powerful Pokemon overall in the Retro Cup. Alright, as I always say, please consider contributing to pvpoke.com. So if we go to the rankings, you go to the Retro Cup rankings, here's what you get. For Retro Cup, as you see here, Lickitung is the most powerful Mon in all of Retro Cup. It beats a whole lot of things, and basically your only weakness are either fighters or pseudo-fighters, which, by the way, you can body slam to death a lot of them. It also licks Deoxys defense to death. Literally, it can lick it to death. It also gives things like Medicham a problem just because of your ability, just because Psychic is weak to Ghost. So, again, having one specific type as your only weakness is pretty dang good. But as you see here, Lickitung XL is the most powerful lead. It's also incredibly powerful in every other position. As you see, its hexagonal chart is freaking huge and very, very, very consistent. And its best thing is the fact that it has incredibly high stamina, so it's a super tank. It's very bulky, it spams a lot, it's agile, it's dynamic, and the problem is it has low shield pressure. So because Lickitung has such low attack, body slam, you're basically gonna rack up a ton of body slam damage. But not to say that if your opponent's nearly dead, body slam probably will take it out. But as you see here, it's just extremely powerful. Does max out at level 50 with rank 1 being at 81450. So you can't exactly just get one from research or get one from raids and hope that's going to be a good IV. Well, it probably can, but 81415 is a rank 1, as with every XL that I recommend. Unless it's the highest rank possible, I don't recommend powering up. Does a Lickitung with like rank 30 or even below could even do better? Of course it can. I think a Lickitung within a certain range is still really, really good. We'll analyze both of them so you can see it in the Matrix. But as you see here, just such a good Hawks. Just its performance is just too powerful. Mostly because of Lick, its ability as a generalist with Lick, coverage move in Power Whip, and Body Slam is just gonna rock your opponent's world. As a lead, it is the #1 lead for the Retro Cup. Being able to it's so bulky that you could literally 2-shield your way through Altaria, which happens to have Dragon Breath, which is the most powerful fast move in the game. So Lickitung just basically trucks through Altaria like no one's business. Of course, it's going to lick poor ghost types to deck and also psychic types, with your only weakness as being aforementioned basically fighters. It's also incredibly powerful as a switch. If you have a fighter leave and if you save switch, and as long as your opponent doesn't have a fighter in their team, it's gonna be really rough for them because Lickitung is just an insanely good generalist. So you're gonna run through a lot of things with Lickitung. As a closer, it still functions really good as a closer, as you see in number 11. It still does really powerful closing out, especially with Power Whip against water types. With Power Whip, you essentially wipe out a lot of water typings, especially Swampert, or Wish Cash, which essentially both of them either just get deleted. Both of them will just get deleted by one Power Whip. So the coverage is just so insane, and it's just so powerful. Not a wonder why it's the most powerful mon in the Retro Cup. Alright, as you see here, we got your favorite part, which you probably skipped to, is the PvPoke.com Matrix. It's the most important portion of the data because we get to see what Lickitung XL beats and what it doesn't beat. Now, I know I made a video on this before. You're probably wondering, why did the King of Charmanders make another one on it? That's because a lot of people have Lickitung, and the rankings did shift a little bit. Not too much, but this is basically the updated version, because Lickitung used to be the most powerful lead and switch. But then after further review, with newer Pokemon coming out, basically Frostless took in the most powerful positions in the switch and the closer. But as you see here, it's insanely powerful. We have the Retro Cup meta to the right, and then I have two versions of Lickitung. I have a rank 1 level 50, as you see here. I even have a level 50. I even have a default one. But to just give it extra measure, what we will do is we'll put Lickitung at level 51 at the bottom. You can get a level 51 Lickitung. Best buddy Lickitung maxes out at 71515, so you can get it at 44. If you want to be really fancy, 49.5, and then you best buddy it to 50.5, which, as you see here, goes above. So we're gonna take a look at level 50, 50, and 50.5, technically level 51. But as you see here, got 2 shield, got the Rich Cup meta, and we hit battle, and this is what we get. So as you see here, Lickitung is an absolute destroyer in the 2 shield. It is the most powerful lead after all. As you see here, it literally runs through most psychic types. It beats Creasel, even beats Deoxys defense. Yes, Deoxys defense has counter, however, because Lick does super effective damage to you, and Lickitung has a really big booty beats big floppy noodle arms, sadly. You also run through Shadow Dragonair, Driplim, Frostless, any ghost type. You run through a lot of leads: Hypno, basically anything psychic, anything ghost, and even Lapras, and even Licky. Lickitung is so godforsakingly bulky that Lickitung level 50 will defeat a lot of things, as you see here. As you see, if you have a level 50, depending on which Lickitung has a higher stat product, it will win. That's why, as you see here, level 50 Lickitung will lose to its level 50.5 because it'll barely edge out the matchup. So yes, levels and level 51, it kind of matters, but not too much unless you're getting the mirror. I promise you, if you get the Lickitung mirror, you're going to see a lot of body slams go off, and it's going to bore the living hell out of you. But as you see here, other than that, what Lickitung loses to the most is basically fighters or things that debuff it. You'll lose to Mantine into 2 shields because Bubble Beam does debuff you, and because Lickitung doesn't have the highest attack, Mantine can just debuff the unholy hell out of you. You beat Mew, you beat Regirock, Celio, Wishcash. You only lose against fighters and basically things that can debuff your attack, as you see here, or things that resist Lick. But as you see, you destroy a ton of the Retro Cup meta, which is why having it in the lead is worth it, because you could pivot out, and likely what Lickitung has, unless your opponent's running double fighter, will both beat the lead and the closer. In the One Shield, Lickitung XL is even equally as dominant. So in the One Shield, Lickitung XL still does really good. In fact, Lickitung XL in the One Shield beats Obama Snow. It still beats Altaria. You lose against Deoxys defense, but you still beat Cresselia. You also beat Dugong. So in the One Shield, you could beat Dugong because Power Up does so much damage. As you see in the One Shield, you beat some things that you don't beat in the twos. So it's definitely worth it to have a Lickitung XL just run through your opponent's team, or just burst their shields and just come out with shield advantage, which is totally doable. As you see here, you wipe out Mew, you wipe out Regirock, you also beat Celio and Wishcash. Now, as you see, level 50 can matter for like 1 HP in a dream scenarios. This isn't a bad rating, so don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure you could still win just straight like power whipping it to death, as you see against Celio. But again, just so powerful in the twos and so powerful in the One Shield. As you see, one power whip will do an obscene amount of damage. And that's the One Shield. In the zeros, it's Lickitung XL's biggest weakness, but I still wouldn't worry about it. It still beats a whole lot of things, as you see here. Still losing to the aforementioned I mentioned before. Basically, things that outspam you, things that resist Lick, or things that punch you in the face. As you see here, Lickitung XL still beasts through all of the psychic types. You beat the water types. In the zeros, it's like, ha, you want to power whip. You just whip everything to death. And in the zeros, you also do beat Mad Team because those body slam damage adds up. And if you don't have shields, guess what? Lickitung XL is way thicker than you. No matter how many bubble beams you fire in its face, it will body slam you to death. You could even beat Medicham in the closer, which is just nuts. Medicham XL is a force to be reckoned with. However, as you see here, as long as it doesn't carry Pup, you can literally lick it to death. Or rather, lick it and body slam it to death. However, Power Pup Punch Medicham can defeat you, just keep that in mind. If you do happen to see a Medicham and it does have Power Punch, you will die very, very quickly. But as you see here, you still beat a whole lot of things besides the things that I mentioned before. With Shield Advantage, which is a scenario you could create a lot, you can use you can leave Lickitung XL with shields, and with shields in the 1 to 0s, it basically beats the entire meta. In the 2 to 0s, still no difference. This is the only mon that I think I've researched in the Retro Cup that can basically win with just 1 to 0 shield advantage. In the 2 to 1s, you still will lose a few things, unfortunately. Actually, you don't, I believe. Yep, you don't. Never mind. I lied. In the 2 to 1s, and as long as it has shield advantage, it will whip and destroy and body slam and power whip the unholy hell out of anything in front of you. That's how good Lickitung XL is. And because there has been so much time, anybody that's walking their Lickitung XL or played a humongous amount of time by rating it or by grinding for in the Kanto event, you have a huge leg up over the competition in the Retro Cup. It's almost unfair, and I really think Lickitung XL should have been banned. Unfortunately, Niantic doesn't exactly have the greatest and most healthiest meta in the entire universe. Tis Go Battle League. So, how do you build a team with the most powerful Pokemon in the game? The thing is, it's really easy to do so. So, if you haven't watched my top 5 team video for the Retro Cup, I basically feature Lickitung XL on 2 of those teams, but it basically meshes well with basically almost any core. Lickitung XL is the most powerful lead, beats out so many other leads that if you see the fighter lead, basically have Lickitung with 2 coverages against fighters, and it basically destroys everything in its path. Which is why I'm making a separate video for this, just because you can see how aware, just how stupid powerful this thing is. For example, if we put Lickitung and Deoxys defense on its own, this is what you get. I think I featured this core before, but as you see here, here's what happens. Guess what? Already you're at 3 A's, and look at all that coverage. Basically, just no other issue or nobody's business. You could pair with the most powerful closer in the game, which is Frostless, and also the most powerful switch, and just have this kind of like double safe switch thing going on, and you have an incredibly safe team. Minus 600 is basically godlike as far as threat score goes. And this team will pretty much destroy everything. But that's basically like the most powerful combination. There's a lot of things you can core with Lickitung. You can put it as a lead, you can even put it as a switch, or you can use it in the back to literally just put it in and lick everything to death. It functions so well in every position that using a team building method for it, like you see here, is just really like that good. Even if you don't have a Deoxys defense, let's say if you have something called Mew, even Mew does really well with Lickitung XL. As you see here, we take out Process, you core with Mew, and with Mew, as you see here, it still does really good. And just because of Lickitung XL itself, safety and consistency is mad high. If you go for the back and you go for the closer and we put something else with it, as you see, you can even pair it with Machamp, etc. So we put Mew, Machamp, as you see here, watch the coverage just shoot up. Bang, all the way up to B. So literally just having Lickitung in this one position makes it obscenely powerful. If you watch its individual rating with nobody in it, guess what? A. Literally that's it. But the only thing that, even it, like, there's a lot of things that don't, that like usually will have an F for coverage, just because like when you put the Pokemon itself, but Lickitung XL is so overpowered that guess what? It goes straight to a D. So as you see here, there's a lot of things you could do. If you do have Lickitung XL, there's a lot of things you could do with Lickitung XL. That will make it and make sure it gains you a bunch of ELO. You can even put something like this, for example, if you have Altaria and then you put Lickitung XL in the back. As just one thing, just putting one Pokemon with Lickitung XL on its own. Lickitung covers so much of it anyways. That just destroys everything. As you see here, this core alone just will get you a low threat score. Heck, if you could even put Pachirisu with this thing and watch what happens to the rating. You put a level 50 Pachirisu, and bang, Pachirisu can core well with Lickitung, and it still does a lot of damage. Basically, there's really no real need to have a guide with Lickitung. There's just two simple things you do with it. You lead with it, or you could close with it. You can even use it as a safe switch, so it's really up to you. In my opinion, Lickitung's best position is in the lead. If you lead with it, just basically have this. Put Lickitung with 2 resistances against fighters, just to cover that fighter weakness. So, for example, let's just do Deoxys defense, and then you put Cresselia with it, just as a hypothetical thing. So there, you have double Psychic, here's what happens. Put 2 Psychic types together with great coverage, and bang, it's still really freaking good! With a low threat score rating. And guess what? This team is pretty baller, seeing as Chansey's Gliscor and Servine aren't really super popular. And guess what? That makes a ton of ABB potential. So, you will definitely see Lickitung in like multiple ABB variants. I'm going to put out for my top 5 ABB teams for the Retro Cup. But as you see here, Lickitung doesn't really need no introduction. Want team with a build with it? Like I said, lead, close. Or just put, you can even switch with it if you want to, if you really want to go there. It's just that freaking good. So definitely worth looking into. And that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I wanted to highlight Lickitung XL and be doing more individual highlights as far as Pokemon goes, just because there's a lot of things you should, like, there's a lot of, like, individual Pokemon that are just really freaking strong in the Retro Cup. Unfortunately, Retro Cup does have that kind of like XL, like you could perform well without XL Pokemon, etc. But XL Lickitung and other things that basically are inaccessible as right now, like Deoxys defense, are really freaking good in this cup. So hopefully, I can, like I said, I'm gonna do a lot of individual analysis. Hopefully, this does give you a good look. And if you are looking to get into Lickitung XL, or if you're trying to find out the weaknesses about Lickitung XL, hopefully this video does help you out because it really is that good. If you haven't done so yet, please like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out. Subscribing is free, and there's that neat little button on the bottom right of this video. If you look over there, all you have to do is just hover over your mouse with it and just click on it, and poof, you can sub. Anyways, good luck on you guys. Go battle sets. Hopefully you guys are excited for the Retro Cup. I am a little bit not too excited to see all the lickingness going on, as in me being licked, because I still don't have my Lickitung XL built. Good luck on your Go battle sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.